In the previous episode, we talked about monsters residing in the surface world, specifically red dragons, goblins, face spiders, and vampires. In this next Baldur's Gate 3 lore video, we will talk about monsters from the Underdark, again in terms of their purposes and their roles in the old and new Baldur's Gate games. Welcome to Content Critters. If you're interested in more Baldur's Gate 3 lore, news, and guides, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell to receive notifications when new videos go live. Without further ado, let's begin. The Underdark is a network of deep, intricate, and dark underground caverns under Faerun. Underdark expeditions are considered dangerous to unfamiliar travelers due to how different the environment is from the surface world, as it is often surrounded by darkness and evil creatures. Number 1 are Spectators. Spectators are a type of beholder summoned through a magical ritual using 4 of the beholder's eyestalks. As such, this monster has 2 eyestalks on each side of its body with a wide eye at the center. Beholders, on the other hand, are large and lawfully evil aberrations which are aggressive and hateful, who view creatures other than themselves as lesser beings. Comparatively, Spectators are medium in build and they take on a rather lawfully neutral stance and mild disposition. A Spectator guards a location or treasure of its summoner's choice for 101 years by making sure that no one else attempts to trespass in the area. Only those deemed worthy by the summoner and the summoner himself have access to this. However, in the event that the guarded treasure has been stolen or destroyed, the Spectator vanishes. It communicates primarily through telepathy, although it can speak the deep speech and under common languages. Due to years of isolation, Spectators view themselves as the supreme being of their kind, often harboring immense hatred for other Spectators, so much so that they always end up fighting to the death. After 101 years of service, Spectators are no longer bound to their summoners and are therefore free to do whatever they want. Some even go back to their previous guarding posts, especially when their summoners have died. With their loss of purpose, they usually descend into madness by further imagining enemies or adopting the voice of their dead summoners. Spoilers alert: in Baldur's Gate 2, the Spectator is seen in the city of caverns guarding Sekula's tooth, which is needed to access a part of Baldur's Gate. Funnily enough, this monster is so bored of guarding the tooth that any character with a high enough wisdom can convince it into giving the item. It remains to be seen what exactly the Spectator in Baldur's Gate 3 is guarding. Number 2 are Hook Horrors. A Hook Horror is a large and fairly neutral yet aggressive aberration, especially when it comes to defending its hunting grounds. The Hook Horror's head resembles a vulture, while its body can be likened to a huge beetle. This creature got its name from its strong arms and legs and curved hooked claws to climb along cavern walls and to hang on rock surfaces. Hook Horrors communicate using their hooks, striking these on their exoskeletons or stones, which sound like random noises to those who don't understand their language. They are omnivorous creatures that opt for anything they can catch. Hook Horrors usually hunt in packs since they work together to kill the largest and most dangerous opponents. If the odds are not in their favor, they quickly climb a cavern wall to flee. A Hook Horror clan is led by the eldest female who places her mate in charge of hunters. Hook Horrors have not appeared in previous Baldur's Gate games, so this will be our first time to see them in action. Number 3 are Myconids. Myconids are intelligent fungi that seek enlightenment as opposed to violence. They are lawfully neutral creatures that provide shelter and allow safe passage so long as their colonies are approached peacefully. They are small to medium built, with adult Myconids having noticeable limbs attached to trunk-like bodies or stumps. In a colony, the largest Myconid is known as a sovereign, which presides over groups or circles of 20+ Myconids. These circles work, live, and meld or meditate together to transcend their rather dull lives. Myconids view this activity as their true purpose in pursuit of higher consciousness and collective union. They use their rapport spores to not only bind participants into a shared consciousness when melting, but also to telepathically communicate with other sentient beings. On the other hand, they use hallucination spores to induce a shared dream for entertainment and interaction. Spoilers alert again, these creatures are encountered in Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear in the Myconid Tower, where a dying Myconid attempts to communicate with the characters using spores. Those whose wisdom or intelligence attributes are high enough will be able to translate the language. Number 4 are Ettercaps. Ettercaps are neutral evil, medium in build, humanoid spiders resembling an ape and a spider mixed together that watch over and feed spiders. Travelers have to be wary in case they accidentally stumble upon the Ettercaps' territory, since they can be stalked. Ettercaps shoot sticky strands of webbing from their glands to trap their victims, with others opting to envenom them. These aberrations transform their territories into places of despair, often infested with giant spiders, insects, and victims encased in webs. Ettercaps ensnare fays such as pixies and dryads to devour them, even going so far as to encase trees in webbing to trap dryads. Ettercaps in Baldur's Gate 1 are pests due to their traps and quantity, so it's good to have a tank in the party to soak up their attacks. Last but not the least, for number 5 are Gnomes. Deep Gnomes, or how do I say this? Svirfneblins, are neutral good small humanoids who survive through stealth and cleverness by utilizing their gray skin to blend in with the color of stone. Although not the same can be said of our acquaintance in Baldur's Gate 3.
Look what we got here! Another little birdie wanting to fly! Stop this thing!
They are strong for their size at 3 feet tall. A deep gnome enclave builds secret tunnels to and from their settlement for ease of accessibility and for emergency purposes should they be under attack. Traditionally, females run the enclave similar to Hook horrors, while males hunt in search of precious gemstones. Often, they come into conflict with beholders, drows, and mind flayers because of these gemstones. They can also summon earth creatures from the elemental plane to guard their settlements. In one of CEO Sven Vink's interviews, he mentions that helping the deep gnome in captivity and going on a quest with him to save his friends will be tied to the city of Baldur's Gate, though he did not specify the adventure. If you've played the original Baldur's Gate games, what are the hardest monsters you've dealt with? Let me know in the comments section below. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again this week for more Baldur's Gate 3 videos.